I promise it'll be quick. I know everyone wants to leave. Okay. So one of the topics they asked us to talk about was if we had any experience and exposure in training in the metaverse. And we actually do. And I'm going to briefly go through some stuff with you. So from the start, what is the metaverse? I think it's something that's been used so much in the last year and a half simply because of the pump that happened in the crypto world. But the metaverse in reality has been around for a long time. VR has been around for more than 30 years. It's been accessible. 3D modules have been around. The only reason the metaverse became metaverse is simply because of transactions that were able to be done through the crypto tokenization, which means that there's an economy and a place that you can actually transact and allow it to be a place that people can congregate and have demand. But other than that, the VR and everything has still been around for us to help benefit us. Now, year on year, the growth is almost 40%, and it's coming into 5 years since it first started in 2016 and 17. Metaverse market size will reach 1.5 billion by 2030. There are over 400 million Metaverse monthly active users. And by 2026, 25% of people will spend an hour or more in the Metaverse. You can see it a lot today, just like how Amazon replaced a lot of the shopping. But the Metaverse will never replace reality. It's just there as a tool, just like you go on Amazon to shop sometimes, and sometimes you go into the real mall to shop. So how do we capitalize on this tool? So after saying that, can we really ignore the Metaverse? Of course not. It's another tool. It's the Web3 that we should all be ready for. The advantages that we see today in the construction now, if we want to focus on it, is real life scenarios. You can actually simulate real life scenarios for you and your employees at work to simulate something. For example, operating a crane, operating equipment, how to cut or how to weld. These are all doable today, and there is content out there. On-job capability, zero safety concerns because it is in a safe zone. It's within you have your Oculus goggles on, and you're just doing the training virtually. You reduce waste, high level of engagement, and it can be done at any time, 24/7. So a lot of advantages if you focus on what can be done with it. Some of the challenges, yes, it was a high investment. Today, it's just reducing drastically. And costly accessories, which are mostly the Oculus glasses or the components that require. But if you have the numbers and the mass, it is very affordable. Lack of awareness used to be the case. Today, it's becoming people are very aware of it, but not in the use cases. They just hear the term metaverse and they wonder what can be used. So today, one of the biggest uses of the metaverse is actually shopping. Shopping is taking over where people can go and try their outfit and buy it because it fits, it's fantastic, and there's a lot of transactions happening with it. And the second one is actually training. People are following some of the people that they admire, athletes, and others that they want to see and replicate them. Now, the other challenge is government regulation. When it comes to us, we cannot say that do this crane certification through us and you're done. No, that still needs government regulation, but you can obviously do 80 to 90% of this training virtually, and then you can go take the real test. And lack of content was a big issue, which today is improving day on day. So if you have training that you want to, just to break it down, first identify what the training courses that you want to convert to the metaverse, and see if you have you need to plan to develop the training course, and do you have the people or the trainers that can come in and get involved with you to make sure that this is going to be done. Then the development team, and obviously you're going to try it, test it, and then do the gap analysis for rectification, and then continuous learning. Some of the training courses that we're undertaking as a company, we already started the onboarding of our employees. So we're building a platform. Instead of the HR sitting with the employee while they're still abroad, they can sit, and whether it's online or through the Oculus, they can be fully onboarded through the metaverse. Orientation program as well, and they can it's interactive. They can start asking questions and seeing what the company is all about. Skill set training, we're focused a lot on the detailed trainings such as welding, because they can replicate the motion of how to test the welding. And this has been around for almost, maybe, I can tell you the oil and gas sector has been playing a lot with it, from ADNOC and Aramco, how to do their testings, which has saved them not millions, but almost hundreds of millions in training. And they're the leaders, actually, in the training of skill set training. Safety training is one of the best, because a lot of them are just Q&As. They make them test what kind of equipment do you need, what kind of flag do you have, what kind of certification is to be tested. So they simulate the people, and they let them go through a simulation, and they see if they pass the test or not. And that does not need a single human interaction, all through the metaverse. Equipment simulation is becoming more and more. You'll see some of the videos. I tried to make it really quick and short, and the rest is all videos. How do I play the video? So here you can see okay. Here you can see that they're putting these sensors on famous athletes that want to be tracked, people that want to have a following for them, and they record them in the studio, and they take the same digital twin of this person, and it becomes in the metaverse, and you can interact with this character fully as if they were real, and their voice is transferred, everything's there, and you can also be tested with your sensors on you if you're following the same movements. So this is what's happening now when it comes to training and where they're moving with it. When it comes to skill set, for example, carpentry simulation, if you can play, please. You can see some of the content that's already out there that people are using to test their workers. Okay. So it asks them to fit a roof truss and external virtual site equipment. You take it, you start reading the drawings, you do the cutting, all virtually. And then it tells you if you've passed or failed. And after you do the calculation, everything is there. And then you get graded. And what safety equipment will you be using for that? And if you don't get them, then it gives you a score as well. And that's without using a single piece of material in the real world. Okay, let's go on to time. 2 minutes left. Go to the next. For the crane, if you can hit play as well, you can see a real simulation from a crane equipment simulated in the VR world as well. This is the view that they have from the inside, and they still get them the same tools, and then they test everything. So this is massive cost saving and huge on the safety, as you can see here. It's almost identical in terms of the equipment used, but the difference is that they're with a headset. For plumbing, I still have a minute. You can play the last one. So this is you can see them testing them as well for plumbing and the type of equipment to use and how to use it, and it virtually takes them through the process to see how they can replace something, fix something, inspections. So all of this can be done in the virtual world, and you can be tested, you can be scored without having to consume material and use a trainer to spend that money for. And one of the biggest issues actually was backlogs. For example, with Aramco, in order to get your certification, it would take us maybe 6 months to get approval because of the demand. With this now, they can have millions at any time. There's no demand, there's no classrooms, there's no need for you to be waiting. So this is why they're investing drastically. And I know this for a fact because we built one of their metaverse labs. And Aramco's shifting a lot of their assets into the metaverse, where they will be training their staff before going on to any of their rigs, and they will be simulating them. And I've gone through the simulation myself, and for safety purposes and for technical. So it's already there. Just the one thing I can tell is that governments will adapt with the regulation, and it's going to happen. Thank you very much. I hope that was beneficial.